Hi everyone, I'm Ken from CryptoTradingKS and BORSOG Trader. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back KS family and the BORSOG clan. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently down 3.7% to 2324. Ethereum down 4.21% to 1132. From my 30 plus years in financial markets, I explain the smart money mindset to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, gaining real wealth in the process. What we're doing right now is a quick run through of the crypto market. In the current economic conditions where there's a lot of turbulence around globally, it makes a lot of sense to get in and out of trades. You'll find that there's always opportunities in the crypto market. Even on the reddest of days, there's always opportunities in crypto. You just need to know how to look for them. Whilst it's true that no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity, some alts, about 1%, definitely diverge from Bitcoin's gravity, and these can be incredibly profitable. People talk a lot about crypto winter, but if you BORSOG, you can get on the right side of the percentage, even if you're on the wrong side of the trade. And we know that all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell. So as an investor, it's really important to know how to trade. BORSOG is all about getting in and out of a trade. It's very different from when we were in the bull market. That was more hodling and dollar cost averaging. When you come to BORSOG, BORSOG is in and then out at a required rate of return. One beautiful thing to know is that in crypto, opportunities reset every single day. Hey, it's just like life. I've left helpful links in the description of this video, such as links to the CryptoTradingKS Masterclass, the tax software I use, which is really good to track your trades. And you can always directly message me on Twitter at any time. I created the BORSOG Trader YouTube channel to share different trades with the community. Many people were losing hope, and I just want to let you know that you can actually make fairly decent returns in these current conditions, and these are all recent trades. I would suggest that you use the link to BORSOG Trader in the CryptoTradingKS YouTube channel. Just come across to BORSOG Trader and subscribe. You'll find that I'm doing regular updates on these trades. I'd like to say a very, very big congratulations to Kali Chef Japan. And of course to Kirk. Kirk said, "Grateful for what I have. My son Kali Chef Japan and his wife were blessed with a beautiful baby girl. Sarah is their first child and my first grandchild. Woohoo! Always grateful for what I have." That's just beautiful. I want to send all of our congratulations to Kali Chef and his wife, and of course to Sarah and Kirk. As crypto technical analysts, we scientifically track investor attention. When I went through the heat map of the crypto market, that's actually what we were doing. We were looking at where investor attention was congealing inside the crypto market. But the first thing we do is to mark up our charts with the CTKS method. Then we look to outside trends, checking stock markets, collecting probabilities, come back into the crypto market, finding the market's focus, which is Rule 32. We know that opportunities reset daily, Rule 28, and we seek to enhance our pattern recognition, Rule 109. But before we actually buy or sell, we apply Rule 733 and Rule 734. We must master our emotional control, because if we don't, we'll sell when we need to buy and we'll buy when we need to sell. The markets are set up that way to drive you into a panic or a frenzy at the wrong times. So therefore, when you gained emotional control, then you get into the trigger section. There are so many ways to buy and sell, and they're all represented in the trigger section. You'll find that as you go through and the markets change character, as we've seen recently with Bitcoin, we have new methods. So that's why I'm sharing these BORSOG trades with you. And you'll also find that Rule 621, buy on red, sell on green, takes on a different character in this current market condition, because we've got a lot of negative price buyers. Rule 225. Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. What happened with the stock market overnight? Well, we can see that the stock market, there was a reduction in fear and then a jump. So what happened to prices? There was a reduction in price because when there is more fear inside the market, people get freaked out and they leave the dance floor exactly when the best songs are playing. But this is the way, because so much emotion is involved when anybody puts money down. That's why I say and suggest that in BORSOG trading, you just use coffee money. Just use the money that you can afford to actually waste, if you like, because what you're trying to do is to learn the synchronization of the markets. Now, why would you want to do that? The reason is, when we actually look at the stock market or the crypto market, the same kind of behaviors, the same kind of emotions play out. As prices going up, everybody is thrilled. Retail is riding that roller coaster and it's woohoo, whippy, yay, fantastic. And then price comes down. And what does retail do? It scatters. Now notice what price is doing. Price is coming up, but nobody's on the dance floor. I call that the dance floor. When price comes up, it does so to pull people back into the market. Now what happens next? Price goes down. Price is always moving in a wave, but you notice the best songs are playing on an empty dance floor, and that's what we take advantage of with BORSOG, getting on the right side of the percentage. As crypto technical analysts, we keep our eye on a large range of economic data. We can see bond prices actually broke below support. Now they're just punched through resistance. And we saw a pretty similar thing with bond yields. They were getting above this resistance level and now they're broken below that support. Now it's resistance. So what could happen? We'll have to wait and see. But this is generally an indication that prices, bond prices, will continue up and bond yields will continue down. What do we see with gold? Gold is below, way below, a lot of overhead resistance. The sellers are coming in there and whacking gold around the head at the moment. What about the US dollar currency index, the DXY or DXY? We've seen the DXY just spike up. These spikes can be very unmaintainable, so just bear that in mind. When we look at oil, which is a primary driver of inflation, we saw that oil was coming down. It did a bit of a bounce up and couldn't maintain it. So we can see that oil is under pressure. Haha, that's a bit of a pun. Let's have a look at the put-call ratio. We can see that basically negative sentiment inside the market is increasing slightly. And we look at junk bonds. Junk bonds can be a really good indicator as to what the NASDAQ will do. And why do we care about all these things? Notice this blue line, that's Bitcoin's gravity. And you'll notice a variety of directional associations between Bitcoin's gravity, that blue line, and the particular thing that we're looking at. And you can see that junk bonds tends to lead what could happen inside the stock market. Now, why is this important? Because Bitcoin cannot escape the stock market's gravity. So if Bitcoin comes down, it's in all likelihood due to the main markets coming down as well. And that's what we've seen in the past trading session. Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TM6. When we compare the metals to Bitcoin, Bitcoin is this yellow line, and the metals, all the different colored ones, we can see that gold has been under pressure, silver has been under pressure, and that's because it's basically following the inverse of the DXY. Note the palladium is starting to party, it's starting to rock and roll, and the inverse VIX is coming up. See how palladium is being pulled by the inverse VIX. I discussed this more fully in TR23 inside the masterclass, and you'll also receive this live chart in there. Inside TM3, I discuss how the transportation indexes can affect Bitcoin's gravity, and you can see what's happening here. As the transportation indexes come down, what's happening with Bitcoin? It's also coming down. Masterclass students, you'll get this live chart in TM3. Inflation is a key thing to discuss at the moment, and I discuss inflation the 5-year break-even inflation rate and the 10-year, as well as M1, M2, the Fed balance sheet, the CPI in TM4. But what we can see is the Fed balance sheet is starting to come down, but M1, M2 are still coming up. But we don't have the latest data for M1 and M2 just yet. And you can see the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rates are coming down. If they were going up, we would expect the annual inflation rate to be pressured by the forward 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rates, but they're coming down, which may mean that we've hit peak inflation. It may mean. It doesn't mean that we have. When we look at the CME FedWatch tool, and the FOMC meeting is in about 15 days, we can see some really interesting stuff happening here. The current target rate is 150 to 175 basis points. And what's really interesting, what's changed within the last week, we had 0% that we would have a 100 basis point rise. But now we got 9.4%, and that's slowly creeping up. Yesterday it was 7.6%, but the overwhelming majority of probability is for a 75 basis point increase to a target rate of between 225 to 250 basis points. This shows that the Federal Reserve is being very, very aggressive in their market stance to controlling inflation. And this is the reason that we look at the data underneath the news. We always go to source data. You can see the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rates coming down really, really strongly. The Fed's market influence is working well. I discussed the global macroeconomic environment a little bit in LV19, especially when it comes to these major indices and recession. What we can actually see is that all the major indexes are under pressure. Why is that? Because the US stock market is under pressure. But why is that? Because about 60 cents out of every dollar goes into the US markets. So if the US market sneeze, the world catches cold. And what we've seen here are the market indexes, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, the Dow, the Russell, all coming down. And that's impacting global stock markets throughout the world. Some interesting news coming out of China at the moment. There's been a bit of a run on the banks. And we can see that China's market has been getting up there, but it's hitting a level of resistance. In TM5, and quite a few times on the community channel, we've discussed China property market sentiment. You might remember Evergrande. Evergrande ceased trading. Fantasia Holdings ceased trading. Kaiser ceased trading. Cynic Holdings ceased trading. These 7 companies had combined sales of nearly $2.3 trillion and net debt in excess of $1 trillion. We still have Vanke, Country Garden, and Greenland Holdings all still trading, but they're all coming down. Now, how does this relate to bank runs in China? The Chinese economic system is built on real estate, and you can see from what happened in the real estate sector and the bailout the CCP had to do. There was a lot of problems with liquidity inside the Chinese property market, and now we're seeing a lot of Chinese bank runs. You can just look through and just search Chinese bank runs if you want to get a deeper insight into what is happening. A lot of times when people hear negative news, they just say, oh, it's negative, I'm going to exit the market. And that is a perfectly reasonable thing to do if you wish to do that. But however, we always just let the market unfold for itself. We have 3-dimensional decision making no matter what the news is. If it's good or bad or neutral, we still make our decisions based on the actual price movement of the cryptos that we are holding, or Bitcoin in that case. And we always do this 3-dimensional decision making. What do we do if things go against us, go for us, or go nowhere? And that's a really important methodology to have as a professional trader and investor, and it's really good that you see yourself in that light. And we know price is always moving in a wave. It's coming up and going down, coming up, going down, coming up. This is what happens all the time. I've done a lot of research and shared a lot of things inside the masterclass, but also on the public channel about recession-based trading. I find recessions and depressions and all of that very, very easy to trade, and there's a lot of reasons for it. That's why I released the BORSOG videos. Many people were leaving the crypto market saying there's no opportunity. There are always opportunities in the crypto market and in the stock market as well. But what happens is that people get faded out emotionally. What happens is that the news scares the living daylights out of people. All these negative sentiment news stories, crash, black swan, dump, all of those kind of things. And then you look behind the surface of these news stories and you say, well, there's not much there. Just remember, institutional investors and traders do not leave the markets ever, full stop. Institutional investors are always borsogging themselves silly. They're buying on red, selling on green, getting on the right side of the trade. They don't realistically care about bull markets and bear markets. A lot of retail people think that this is impossible. It's all bull market or bear market. If it's a bull market, you make money. And if it's a bear market, you lose money. In truth, it really depends. In BORSOG, you can always make money. In a bull market, the borsogging is to the upside. The bias is positive prices. And the bear market, the bias is negative prices. But we can see that the previous bull market, we should have seen a lot of positive momentum, but we didn't see it. So nothing is guaranteed, ever. But getting in and out of your trades is. For example, these particular BORSOG trades, which are on the BORSOG YouTube channel, were all done recently. And this is all about the concept that you can make money in no matter what kind of condition it is. And it can be very, very good money. So that's why I created the BORSOG channel, to give you confidence and hope in a brighter financial future. Because when you have the knowledge, you can do it, but you must have the knowledge. In the BORSOG channel, I say, if I can do it, you can do it. Mark says, if I say that, that's me. But if Mark, as a recent masterclass graduate with not too much trading experience, say I can do it, then you can absolutely, positively, unequivocally can do it. 4 days, 12 documented BORSOG trades made on CTKS marked up charts. 4 trades range from 4 to 8% profit. 8 trades made 10 to 14.5% profit. Fantastic, Mark. Coffee money trades with a focus on percentages and correct trade execution. This is what it means. It's low stress, high learning and confidence building. These trades were a direct outcome of the transfer of knowledge built into Ken's teachings, and those teachings are inside the masterclass. Rule 45, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. We're moving back into the crypto market. Let's have a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. Yesterday it was 24, today it is 22. There's more fear in the market. Why is that? Because what happened to the Nasdaq? And what happened to the VIX? See, you already know these things. That's why we go through this. And what do we see here? We've had an undercut. What is an undercut? It's really straightforward. The support has been lost. Price is underneath. It's cut through and under. It's an undercut. So what do we see here? Where could price go to? Bitcoin's price is currently 20,087. Look at the last time we had an undercut. What happened? Where did Bitcoin's price come down to? Basically around this particular area, just that low. So where do we expect Bitcoin's price to come down to this time? Probably around the 19,272 mark. But we need to make three-dimensional decisions. There's 3 ways price can go. And when you're a professional, you're looking and in all 3 dimensions at the same time. Hey, why not? So what do we see? The probability is we'll come down to around this particular low, around here, say 19,200. But also the probability exists that we could actually pump up to this level of resistance around 22,701. So we've got 2 potential things, but we also could go horizontal. Remember, we always think, What if it goes for us? What if it goes against us? And what if it goes nowhere? And we use all the supporting data to try and do the detective work as to where things could go. Let's look in a little bit more depth. Remember, we had a support line playing out here, and what happened? We've just seen that we've just cut through that support. Maybe that's a little bit easier to see. So we cut through this support line. Where is the next support line? It's around 1, just here, 19668. It could be a little bit higher, but the concept is we understand that when we lose a support level, we're going to the next support level. And it's just like resistance. When you cut through a resistance level, you're going up to the next resistance level. So what do we see here? There's a bit of a negative bias. Let's look towards max pain and see if the options market is telling us anything interesting. We can see that the max pain level is reacting to price. As price becomes higher, what happens to max pain? We could see, for example, that max pain was at 19,500 quite a few days ago, and then price was going on its merry way up and up and up. So what happened to max pain? It increased. And this is what happens. What happens when price comes down? What happens to max pain? It typically decreases. So what do we see for the next 2 trading days? We see a max pain level at 20,500, but the end of the month is still 24,000. Quite a few days ago, it was 25,000. It dropped 1,000 to 24,000. So it gives you some sort of indication. If we're trading currently at about 20,000, and this is a pretty key psychological level, a lot of people will step in and say, ooh, 20,000, that's quite good. Retail loves whole numbers. Professionals go always off whole numbers. And just keep in mind that the RSI is very, very oversold at the moment. Please let me know in the comments, where do you think Bitcoin's price will be going to? Is it a letter or is it a number? Please let me know which one you think it is. Looking towards the greatest gainers and greatest losers over the past 24 hours, LRC out in front, greatest gainer 4.3%. That's pretty weak. Chile's 1.54% up. Again, that's really weak. Arweave 0.87% up. Also really weak. And what does this mean? The top 100 are getting slapped around a bit. That's a technical term. Let's go the other way. What about the greatest losers over the past 24 hours? Uni down about 12.7. Stepan GMT down 12. Rune down 11.4%. IOTA down around 10%. Ape down around 9%, as is Gala. Compound nearly 9% down, as is SHIB. Let me know in the comments, would you rather buy the most negative or the most positive? It's important to always collect our facts, so we want to look at the liquidations for the longs and the shorts. Now what is happening here? Look at those shorts, they're having a party. They're so confident, they're stepping into the market, and that broke that support. So what has happened to the longs? They've been recently liquidated. That's why they're leaving the market. And Masterclass students, you'll get my live chart in TG34. The reason that we look at total liquidations, we're seeing the market's commitment. And what we can see over the past 24 hours, 158.42 million in liquidations occurred across 62,675 positions. And over the last 24 hours, 85% of those total liquidations were long. What about the past 12 hours? About 85. What about the past 4 hours? Ay caramba! 98%. What about the past hour? Ooh, nearly 99%. Oh, the shorts are having a field day with the longs today. And the shorts just come in to cool things down, but the longs come in to heat things up. And what do we notice here? More long liquidations than short liquidations. But always notice, there's always long and short liquidations in the markets. I've seen horror stories of people hedging their positions, both going long and going short, and getting wiped out in both directions. It's just a tragedy. If you're just learning, please don't leverage. Just BORSOG, use coffee money. And when you understand how the market works and the market's timing and its natural movements and rhythms, well, then go for trading of derivatives later, but do so when you're consistently professional and you know the risks. A lot of times people look at these shorts entering the market and going bananas, and I look at the shorts coming into the market and I get really excited. The music is starting to play on the dance floor. I'm excited about this. Just notice what happened here. We had the shorts coming into the market, rising up and up and up, and then the longs just abandoning ship. And what happened? Ay caramba! Oh, I like ay caramba today. We could see something very, very similar. The shorts are always getting pulled into the market, and the longs are always getting pulled into the market as well by hype and media and so many other things. Just be aware that the media isn't your friend when it comes to financial markets. The charts are your friends. So with all the data that we've collected, where do you think Bitcoin's price might be going? Into a letter or into a number? And the interesting thing is, there are two ways to look at price. If you're overwhelmingly negative, if you look at the markets as just a license to lose money, you're going to see this and you're going to see downward momentum all the way down to zero. And if you're overwhelmingly positive, you would imagine that prices would continue upwards, but be overwhelmingly running of the numbers. And that is all about running the numbers, doing the statistics, collecting the data. Just be a crypto detective. That is what it's all about. It's not about having a particular bias to the upside or to the downside, because we can see price is always moving in a wave. It's always coming up and going down. Look at when the longs were coming up. They were so confident, and the shorts said, I'm out of here. And then what happened? Things started to turn around. You always get these waves up and down on both sides. Price is always moving in a wave, and we always can make money by BORSOGing. I can hear a lot of people say, Ken, I don't even have Bitcoin. I don't care about Bitcoin. I just love my beloved alt. Why are you talking about Bitcoin and markets and stuff? Why don't we just get into my beloved altcoin, which is one out of 20,000? And the reason is, no alt can escape Bitcoin's gravity. I'll show you what I mean. When we look at Bitcoin's price action, and then we look, for example, at Ethereum, this could be your beloved alt, but just keep in mind what's happening here. Ethereum is moving more strongly than Bitcoin's gravity, but it's getting pulled in the same direction. Binance Coin, getting pulled in the same direction as Bitcoin's gravity. What about XRP, getting pulled down more heavily in the direction of Bitcoin's gravity? And we've seen over and under exaggerations in price relative to Bitcoin's gravity in XRP. Look at ADA. ADA is just collapsing, and it's weaker than Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Oh, ADA. Charles, what's happening? Solana, following Bitcoin's gravity down. What happens when Bitcoin turns around and comes up? Please let me know in the comments. What happens to these beloved alts, if they're your beloved alts? What about Doge? Doge is coming down with Bitcoin's gravity. What about DOT? DOT is weaker than Bitcoin at the moment. It's selling off more. And these things are really important to keep in your mind. If you see that Bitcoin is going to hit a level of support and then bounce up, that will explain why your particular beloved alt will hit a level of support and also bounce up. I recently put out a new post, a new video on how to recognize strength and weakness in a variety of different alts relative to Bitcoin. I think that would help a lot of people. And this is available on buymeacoffee.com/CryptoTradingKS. And I'd just like to say thank you for your kind generosity to all those people who reached out and bought me a coffee. Crypto Petty said, never would I have thought I could be so profitable in a macro downtrend, but I am, thanks to your course. You're a legend, friend. Thank you. Thank you, Crypto Petty. Very nice. And Jade, Ken, I appreciate everything you do and all the content you put out. Thanks so much, Jade. And David, a coffee to help you create life-changing content. Wow, thank you, David. And someone said, thank you for everything you give to this community. Thanks so much. And Bluebird, thank you, my friend. And Jay, thank you for everything you do and setting a great example. Thanks so much, Jay. And also to Dan, cheers, Sifu. Here's to the CTKS and BORSOG clan. Whoa, love it. And I just recently put out a more in-depth analysis of Rule 109, Enhanced Pattern Recognition, to all those very kind and generous people who bought me a coffee. Thanks everybody so much. And also, there are 11 other videos in there. Just my way of saying thank you. I do this. A few videos ago, I asked about hard work, and this is part of our positive excellence and maintaining real wealth foundations. Beardy said, hard work. I used to run away from hard work as a kid, but now I realize that when I put work into something, I appreciate it a lot more and will protect it as I have skin in the game. It aligns well with one of Ken's rules, unearned is return. If you don't work for it, you don't care about it. This could be fixing a fence, a trade, anything. And hi Kate. Very beautiful, Beardy. Thank you, my friend. And Dinesh said, hard work is fun when you get your teeth into it and it gives you an edge and pays. Oh yeah. Ken, hi to Kate. Thanks, Dinesh. And thank you to everyone. It's very beautiful. And to Flamingo, thank you, my friend. Persistence and commitment get results. Where we choose to focus our efforts and energy will grow. So it's important to choose wisely to get the results that we want. Thank you also to Art. Optimism or pessimism, we also discussed this a couple of episodes ago. Art said, I'm optimistic sometimes to a fault. One of the benefits of the masterclass for me was it helped me to slow down and take a look at the big picture before making decisions. I've been trading so long that I trust my gut, but maybe too much sometimes. I've learned to have a little bit more, or to have a more patient optimism. And talking about the benefits of hard work, before you go play, you must get the hard work done first. And there was a great example Art gave there. Have a look at these comments. They're just magnificent. And there's so many I just don't get the opportunity to read out. This lesson has affected every area of my life, from marriage to raising children to doing any kind of good work. The only thing I will add is as you grow older, you learn to work less hard and smarter. There is always a better way to get things done. You just have to be open and aware of the opportunities. With trading, the hard work is marking up your charts and staying in the game, even when the market is dismal. I think that people who are still in the game right now are really hard workers, and we will all benefit immensely as the market improves. Absolutely. Beautiful words, Art. Thank you. And thank you to Marco. What a beautiful statement. A huge universal hug to every single member of the community. We have such a magnificent global family. It's just wonderful. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe and maybe just say hi in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And Brett said, hard work is the gateway to success, but it can also be the gateway to healing from depression, anxiety, lack of self-confidence, and grief. Just magnificent, Brett. Absolutely it can. And thank you to Badger. I was always told that if you don't work, you won't eat, and I love to eat. I love it, Badger. If you earn it, no one can take away your bread. Yeah, those pesky bread thieves. When you work for someone in anything, they appreciate when you do your best. And also, you appreciate it yourself. You feel better. Positive excellence in everything you do is gold. Oh, I mean Bitcoin. The reason that we talk about hard work, if you want to be truly successful in life, you have to put in the hard work. And positive excellence and maintaining real wealth foundations, such as persistence and commitment, will make all the difference to your life. The more you put in, the more you get out. And we always have to give to get. A lot of people think that you just get because somehow you're entitled. Nobody is entitled. We become entitled, if you like, when we give far, far more than we get. Positive excellence and real wealth are all about becoming professional, not just in the crypto market, but also in life. One critical thing to maintain as a trader and an investor, and we know all investors become traders anytime they buy or sell, is inner and outer peace. Having kindness, gratitude and happiness. This is really the spice of life. Money comes as a result of having good foundations. These are the best foundations that you can ever have. Integrity and decency is incredibly important as well. And Dinesh said, I would love to see a Ken Network News on Mt. Gox. And to Purpuratum, what really insightful words. Hard work paves the way to success. Hard work pays off. Achieving a set of goals requires dedication, commitment, and a great willingness to learn. Consistently giving your best and being aware of its strengths, it strengthens your self-confidence and creates satisfaction. Working hard also means dealing with setbacks and losses, accepting them and growing from them. Learning to turn negative into positive. Every obstacle becomes a welcome challenge. How brilliant, my friend. Let's have a look at some more cryptos. We can see them all moving down with Bitcoin's gravity. Tron moving down. SHIB really moving down. AVAX moving down. Matic is quite interesting. It's moving down, but not so much. Matic is showing signs of strength. That's really good. Good on you, Matic. Uni moving down very, very strongly. Litecoin also moving down. FTT moving down. And Chainlink also moving down. Keep your eyes on Matic, everyone. And let's have a look at XLM or Stellar moving down, weaker than Bitcoin at the moment. NEAR also weaker than Bitcoin currently. Atom also moving down. And we can see Algo just moving in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin Cash much, much weaker. It's been very, very weak. Ethereum Classic getting pulled down with Bitcoin's gravity. This is why you must pay attention to Bitcoin's gravity. It holds the answers to your success or failure in the crypto market. And it's really interesting. I've seen particular influencers out there saying Bitcoin should die. And they have, of course, their own token. Obviously, these people do not understand Bitcoin's gravity. Bitcoin is dying now. And what happens to their beloved token? It's going down as well. People, get it together. Let's have a look at VET. VET moving down in alignment with Bitcoin's gravity. Mana, Decentraland also moving down and moving down pretty sharply. One thing that you will find in life, if you put in the hard work, you will be rewarded. And you're still here, so I'm going to reward you. Quant. Let's have a look at Quant. Quant is actually diverging from Bitcoin's gravity at the moment. Arweave. You can see a divergence from Bitcoin's gravity also. Fourth has a bit of a, it's very, very spiky, but it has divergence, positive divergence. What about Trouble? TRB or Teller, I call it Trouble because it's TRB. We can see that it's going up. It's actually had a retracement, but it's starting to show a bit of strength as Bitcoin sells down. What about Perp? Perp is looking a little bit wobbly. It had certainly a lot of upward momentum, but it's got a retracement at the moment. It's just trying to find support. TWT, Trust Wallet, on the way up. What about AE? AELF. It's doing quite well. What about Request Network? Request Network is showing signs of strength. And this is what you always want to look for in the crypto universe. There's always cryptos that are bucking the trend. Either as Bitcoin comes up, they're going down, or as Bitcoin goes down, they are coming up. I'm not suggesting or endorsing any of these crypto projects, and I never do that. I think the concept is I just want to show you there's always opportunity if you know how to look for it. In the comments today, it would be fantastic to talk about consideration. And consideration is not in the legal sense, like the amount of money that you pay under contract law. Consideration is being considerate. How do you think being considerate actually impacts a person's quality of life, their inner peace and their outer peace, their gratitude and their happiness? Please let me know in the comments. This is a really important real wealth foundation to have. and I find it's becoming less and less common. Being considerate is just another form of kindness, but it's really important to think about how, if we are considerate of others, what impact does that have? And for example, if we are not considerate of others, what impact does that have? I would love to see your comments. And the reason that we spoke about hard work is Rule 700. Wealth requires hard work, but it also requires kindness. Even though the market has turned red, I see the market as an outstanding opportunity to apply your knowledge. The market always rewards knowledge, and it penalizes the lack of it. Please consider sharing and liking this video and also subscribing to the channel. We would love to have you as a part of our globally extended KS family. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, my friends. Take care and see you next time. Bye for now.